What up, Thai Nation? I'm EDM producer 2LR. Let's react to some music, shall we? Here we go!
Take me higher, take me higher, take me higher.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna continue diving into one of my new favorite Japanese singers, and that is Minami. And of course, we just reacted to, what was it? Rain, I can't remember what it's called. You guys know I reacted to recently. I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But we're going to do the follow-up today, is what I was trying to get to, called Waiting for Rain. So I'm really excited to see what this follow-up's going to be all about. If you haven't checked out the prequel to this one, go check it out on my channel. It'll be in my Minami Reactions playlist. I literally just reacted to it last week, so it might not be too hard to find it. But if you don't want to scroll through and try to find it, it'll be in that playlist for you guys. But anyways, guys, I'm super excited to dive into this one and see what this one's going to be all about, and see if she's just going to blow me away like last time, which, let's be honest, she probably will. But anyways, guys, let's dive into this. Here we go. Yeah. Alrighty, you know what we're here for. Minami, what you got for us, girl? Let's do this. Here we go. Yes. Sorry. Okay. I already love the production. I already love it. I'm already sold. Love the production. Let's go. Give me those vocals. Bring it on, girl. Here we go. Okay. Interesting percussion. It's a dope beat. Yeah. Ooh, that guitar screech. Damn. That was an interesting way of describing this. This is very interesting. Steering the clay while getting engulfed by it seems as if it'll turn to solid soon. Because like when you're doing clay making, I haven't done this before very often. I think maybe I did some clay stuff in like art class like years ago. But like when you're making clay, usually you're like kind of shift shaping it while it's still kind of wet. And then like when you're saying like the idea of like steering it, almost like steering it on that thing that spins really, really fast, you know, you kind of like almost getting engulfed in it, like as you're getting engulfed into like the idea of shaping what you want to make. And then it's going to turn solid soon, so you got to obviously work fast. So that's a very interesting way of, and really great wordplay and saying like almost like the idea of what it's like to be creating clay. That's so interesting. I actually love that. Like, so I don't know. I love it. It's like such a really great like lyrical wordplay. Wow. My tax words were still not enough. Wow. Ooh. Interesting. It's all fine. I'm just sure someone just turned into an invisible person. Interesting. Almost like maybe the idea of like losing a loved one, or like I guess like not necessarily like losing a loved one, more so maybe in like relationship stance. Like the idea of losing like that person in a relationship, like they're now just an invisible person. Like they like still exist, but they're invisible to you because of how they made you feel. Maybe that's what she's going for, but I don't know. If so, that's really a phenomenal way to word that. She's one of like, gosh, between her and Lisa, they both have some of the best lyrics and writing I've ever seen in like the world. Like, oh my god. wait, oh wait. Wow. Okay, hang on. So she loves this idea of using this like word, like this like concept of rain. Like the idea of saying I'm like waiting for it to rain, which is so interesting. Well, the one line I want to go back to, which is so interesting, is this one. If you just twist those ambiguous words, although it's about to solidify, it still needs something. Almost like the idea of maybe going back to the idea of like the clay making, where you're waiting for it to solidify. So like, see if I can maybe make a connection here. So like maybe saying the idea of like ambiguous words, meaning maybe that's like the idea of what you're creating in terms of the clay, even though it's like the clay is solidifying, even though it's becoming and shaping into what you want it to become, there still needs to be something else. Maybe that something else, for example, would be like painting it, or maybe it needs, if it's like a pot, maybe it needs to have a lid made for it or something like that. So if you turn it into this idea of where if you just twist those ambiguous words, you know, like those ambiguous words basically are almost like the thing you're creating. It's about to solidify. Those words about to become, you know, like bring meaning to them, I guess you could say. It still needs something. And I guess if you go into the next part, how true, because now it's filled with emptiness. Okay, so see, this is the idea of saying because it's missing something, there's now this feeling of emptiness, or it's like filled with emptiness. So these ambiguous words are filled with emptiness because you didn't add that something that it needs. So it's like almost like you're saying, like, you know, with a, like, let's say you're making a clay pot or something like that. That clay pot is filled with emptiness because, excuse me, you can't really put anything in there yet until you have a lid, because you don't want whatever you're putting in there to fall out, you know. So maybe that's kind of like what she's going for with this. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but that's kind of like, that was the one thing that was in this course that really drew my attention. And then I'm going to go back again, because there's this... No, I missed the line with rain in it. Here's the line with the rain. Here we go. Could you just please let me rain? Let me rain. Let me rain. Why would she want to say, let me rain? What could rain? Could rain be like represented maybe by sadness? Just please let me be sad? Maybe that's what it could be, because what's the next line? No matter how many times I recapture it, it's still cloudy. I don't know, the only thing I can think of is the idea of like saying like waiting for it to rain. Like, and saying like, can I please rain, is saying like, can I just please experience this sadness and get it out of the way maybe, or something like that. I don't know. You guys might have to help me with that, because it's definitely really interesting, and she's definitely got a really strong way with her words and these correlations and whatnot. So I'll have to let you guys maybe see maybe what you guys think that meaning is, or if you know for a fact that's what she's trying to say, or what she's trying to say. But yeah, so let's go on to the next verse though. Let's keep going. This is once again phenomenal. Just wow. I'm honestly blown away by how good she is. Too exhausted for this. I just want this to not be a waste. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe I'm kind of right about this. So she's saying, Because you can see here she's saying, I can't keep up with the rain. I'm too exhausted for this. I just want this to not be a waste. So maybe she's too exhausted to feel this sadness, so she doesn't want this to be a waste of like her time. Like maybe if she's gonna feel emotional and feel this sadness, she wants it to be worth something. Like I don't want to be sad over something that doesn't need to be, you know, like something that I shouldn't be sad over. Like I shouldn't be looking too far into something that I bring myself to sadness when it's really not something like as big as it really should be. I don't know, something like that maybe? I'm not sure. Interesting, yeah. Okay, so see, a cheap reasoning from a self-proclaimed detective. So see, the idea of like saying like the way she's feeling, she's like, you know, like the idea of a detective that investigates things. She's almost saying like, I'm a self-proclaimed detective because she's looking into something and investigating it more than maybe what she should be doing. And so she's saying a cheap reasoning. So such a like silly reason for me to become, you know, like almost like a detective now and overthink and look into something, investigate into something that's maybe really not something at all. Like the idea of like almost like investing in like something as innocent as somebody just talking to a guy friend. So you think that he's cheating, but or it could be the opposite, you know, same way with the girl, you know, the, you know, girl could be talking to a guy friend, guy could be talking to a girlfriend, you know, and the opposite thinks that maybe they're being cheated on, when really it's just they're just friends, you know. So that might be a good example of like what she might be talking about here, which is really the way she talks about this is so clever. The idea of saying, you know, that she's overthinking something, saying she's a self-proclaimed detective, like that's her way of saying investigating, and that cheap reasoning, like a like overly like thought over like situation, like just the way she writes is like so like I don't even know what the word is to use. It's so almost like I guess like advanced. Like I don't know. That's such a weird word to use, but that's the best way I can describe it. She just writes so much more. Like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I hope you guys are trying. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say because it's just the way she writes is like not like anything I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. She didn't remove this USB. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, see again, the idea of, you know, saying you will never come back, can't go home. The idea of saying that you're never coming back because this person's gone forever. I can't go back to that person because they don't want to come. They're not going to come back. Can't go home. Going back to the idea of saying that the home is how he makes you feel, or if it's a guy and a girl situation, how she makes the guy feel. You know, that's almost like how it is. It's like when you feel like you're in a relationship, it's almost like that person is like your home. That's your comfort zone. That's your area of comfort where when you need somebody to go to, you go to that person that you love. You know, same as like when you go home to your family, that's where you go home for your comfort. You know, that's kind of like maybe like the idea of what she's going for with this, which is like, again, amazing writing still. My God. Haiku, that means hurry up. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Wow. gosh, girl! Oh my gosh, wow. This right here. Let's see. I think it's after this. The clock hand kept chasing me, and you are the number next to me. The idea of, oh my gosh, how would this be? Clock hand chasing me, and you are the number next to me. So the clock hand is chasing her. And so it's like, let's say she's in the... Interesting. So it's like, if you have like 1 o'clock, for example, let's say that she's 1 o'clock, then the number next to her is the person. So he's either 12 or 2 o'clock. And then this is chasing her. Interesting. What on earth? Man, she has some of the most advanced writing ever. Oh my gosh. Wow, like honestly, I feel like listening to her songs is like a class or like a master class in like lyrical writing, because like I'm struggling to understand what she's trying to convey here because it's so complex. That's the word I want. It's so complex and so profound at the exact same time. Like, just wow, what incredible writing. I can't praise her enough for this. This is incredible. I've been talking so much. I'm just gonna keep going through. That was stomping for sure. Oh, there's the clock spinning. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, so much emotion. Wow. Oh, ending with this piano is just magnificent. Wow. I think that's the girl from the video from before. This must be also part of that anime. The domestic girlfriend. You have to let me know though. Was this so this is a follow-up to her last song? Does that mean that this was also for Domestic Girlfriend? Because it would only make sense because it looked like that was all the same anime imagery of Domestic Girlfriend that they used for the other like song, but I don't know. You guys have to let me know, or I'll just look it up. I don't know. You might see it in the title. If I looked it up, you'll know. But anyways, guys, that was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, wow. Let's talk about this. Alrighty, guys. That was my reaction to Waiting for Rain by Minami. I'm not going to dive too much into, like, I think, like, what the meaning is, because I kind of already did that a lot throughout the actual reaction to the song. So I think that at this point, I'm just going to say what I think that we all know already, but I want to say very, very clearly that Minami has got to be one of the best writers I have ever listened to. The complexity of her words, the way she uses certain like phrases to represent something with a more deeper concept. The idea of like using almost like clay as like creating something with clay to like be like the idea of the ambiguous words, mixing that with the idea of, you know, when you create something with clay, you know, yes, you have created something, but it's almost like there's something missing though. Like you're missing that color. Like you need to paint it. You need a pot. If you're doing a pot, I should say, you need to put a lid on top of it, where there's something that's missing and like you know, you're losing some aspect to it still, you know. And like, I mean, the idea of saying like, I'm guessing that when she's talking about rain, so that must be like crying, because like rain falls, like rain falls, like tears fall down your face, is what I'm guessing she's trying to say there. It's just there's so much left behind. There's so many interpretations, I should say, that are left within her lyrics, where anybody could basically take a certain concept from her songs and basically come up with an entirely different meaning than somebody else. I think it's almost maybe like, I feel like the idea of what her meaning behind her songs is very similar, but I feel like the way you interpret her lyrics can all be totally interpreted differently from each person. So I think that the overall meaning is there, but the way we can all interpret the actual words used can all be different, if that makes sense. But I mean, honestly, I've got to say, like right now, in terms of singers and just overall incredible lyrical writing, right now it's Minami and Lisa. Two of them are both spectacular. Just mind-blowingly good. Honestly, that's the best way I can put it. But yeah, for anything that you guys saw that I was maybe struggling with or trying to come up with like my own interpretation, let me know what you come up with from those words. Like, what did you come up with for those phrases that she uses? Because like, I'm really intrigued to see what you guys are thinking with your thought process, because it's like some of the stuff she comes up with is so complex but so profound. It's mind-blowing. Wow. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and make sure you click on that bell notification to be alerted whenever I start a group, artist, or new band in my channel. Besides that, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. And as always, bye.